Hey, welcome back to No Hype Beer Reviews. Unless it's your first time, then welcome. Please consider subscribing, hit that notification bell somewhere in that general direction. So kind of doing a review slash discussion. I don't know. Yeah, let's call it a discussion with a little bit of review in there. So at the beginning of it, I'm going to talk about how I've had these four beers, and at the end, I'll talk about my hunting today. So I already did a proper review of the 2019 regular Bourbon County brand stout. It is, I believe, a different batch than the one I reviewed, the one I was able to buy today. But you can go watch that review right now. Short version, I really like this year's version. I think it's definitely a worthy addition. So I already went and did my shopping for the day, and I'm very fortunate, besides living in an area where I can relatively easily get these kinds of variants and the regular, right around the corner is a bar that had these three variants on draft. So, and I lucked out because Chris, thank you so much, Chris, had sent me a 2019 early. So I was already able to have this vintage, or this year's vintage. So I literally just got home from doing a flight that had these three, and then also I did the Evil Twin New York City's real Mexican cake, which is phenomenal. Holy crap. Like, I like that beer, period, but it had more spice to it. It had habanero peppers. I don't know if it always does, but wow, holy crap. So I was able to do these three, and then this one I got, obviously today I bought it, but it was not on draft. So I've never had this beer. It'll probably be the one I review next. Since I've had these three, I'm going to talk about them right now. So just for the sake of this video, I'm going to put this away since I'm actually not going to be talking about that until I get towards the end. So, again, big fan of this. So what I'm going to do right now, I will properly review these three, but I figured since I just had them in a flight, talk about them a little bit right now, and again at the end talk about my happy hunting for Black Friday. So the coffee one, Cafe de Olla, how we pronounce it. So this is a drink from, I believe it's South America. I'm sure it actually says on here if I spent the time to actually read it. And so this morning I looked up a recipe how to make it. I didn't make it the traditional way, but basically what I did is I got my big French press out and I ground up, actually I had some Peruvian coffee, and again I think it's South America. So put some freshly ground coffee in there, some cinnamon, some sugar, not the kind of sugar they're using in here, just generic white sugar, and orange peel. And brewed that, French pressed it, drank it, just to kind of give myself an idea. Like, yeah, sometimes coffee has a little bit of that citrus note, but I kind of wanted to be in the ballpark of what are they thinking when they make this beer. So the Cafe de, again, Olla, I believe is how you pronounce it, stout aged in bourbon barrels with coffee, cassia bark, which is very similar to cinnamon, orange peel, and panela sugar added. I don't know if I've had panela sugar. Coffee aroma layered with notes of cinnamon and orange. It's 13.5% ABV, and it is made with Intelligentsia coffee. I was talking to my man Dusty the other day. He sent beer. I've reviewed a lot of stuff that he sent, and we talked a decent amount. And we were talking the other day how both of us would love if they just did regular Bourbon County, the coffee, the barley wine, and then these variants. Not like instead of doing regular coffee and barley wine and then these variants, but like do those, like make those like your core three. You always do the prop, like that's your core stuff, and then branch out. Like that's really cool. That'd be like the best of both worlds to us. So I'm going into this wishing it was regular coffee, and after that abomination that was coffee barley wine that I freaking hated, and just give me just give me the coffee, just give me the barley wine. And then you didn't give me either, So going into this being like, I wish it was just coffee. I actually like this one. I did 5-ounce pours, and I got a good amount of coffee. It's coffee beans and coffee in the beer. So a good amount of coffee, and that cinnamon that comes through, I liked that a lot, actually. And kind of like how when I brewed it this morning, I didn't put enough, I shouldn't say enough, but I didn't put a lot of orange peel. I didn't know how much orange peel would go, so I just put a little bit in there. I'm kind of glad I did because I don't get a ton of orange. And I was a huge fan of last year's Midnight Orange. I still have one more bottle. I actually really like the orange with the cacao nibs together. The orange has faded quickly, but the cacao nibs are still there. Um, so, yeah, not a lot of orange in this, but I do think the cinnamon with the coffee came across well. I would rather drink this than this. I'd rather drink any of the regular coffees I've ever had than this, but I did like this, and I am happy that they brewed this and released it. So, like, this, I'm okay with this. Which takes me to this guy, the cherry one, is my friend that I keep referring to it. Stout aged in bourbon barrels with cherries, granola, oats, brown sugar, and 100% natural flavor added. Never a fan of natural flavors. Don't know what that is. I like real ingredients listed. Aromas of amaretto expanded to flavors of oats, cherry, and chocolate with a silky finish. 14.1% ABV, and this one was bottled August 2000 or August 25th, and then it has a 5-year Best Buy thing. This is Mon Cheri. Doesn't it say it somewhere on here? Yeah. Brand Mon Cheri Stout. My darling. And a play on cherry as well there. Again, I did 5-ounce drafts, or 5-ounce pours for the flight. And it was not a winner for me. It was not a hit. It was, in 5 ounces, I was okay. And again, I'm going to properly review these 3. 16.9 ounces of this, I'm not super excited. This does have some brown sugar, I think. It doesn't say it on here, but I could swear that on the draft list it said maybe it just said hint of brown sugar in the taste, but I thought it said brown sugar. This one, that sugar comes through, but it didn't annoy me. This one, I didn't get as much of the sugar taste, but like, I don't know, like, I don't dislike cherries and stouts, and I was kind of excited, but it just. So I was talking to the guys at Nerd Sense a little bit, and just today, and make sure you go check out this video because it's freaking awesome. They did their 500th beer review, and they took a 2018 regular Bourbon County and they French pressed it with Oreos. And I tell you what, based on these, I might kind of want to start doing my own variants, actually. Like, just make some cold brew, add a little bit of that to a regular to make my own coffee stout, for example. And I think this one suffered from, like, trying too much, and it just didn't land. And, the more stuff you add, the more complexity and the more delicious it can be, but also more that can go wrong, and I think this one was a miss. So, huge fan, I grabbed the 2 bottles, and you might see me sending a second one to someone else. We'll see. The Wheatwine, and again, as someone who wants the regular coffee and the regular barley wine, I really like the Wheatwine last year. I still have 2 that I'm aging. The guys, and again, not to keep saying, check out other channels besides mine. The guys at 21090 have done very in-depth a lot of the 2019 lineup. They actually brought out the spirits that were, they brought out the Larceny that this one is aged in this year, and really did in-depth. They compare it to 2018. They bring out the Larceny itself, and they do a whole video about it. It's amazing. Go check it out. And so I like this one a lot. Any kind of burnt sugar, caramel, butterscotch, toffee, all that kind of stuff is in here, which I love. I have a huge sweet tooth, and as much as I didn't like how the sweetness and the other stuff was coming through in this, and again, just to mention another person who does beer tube videos, Joe from the Beer Patrol was able to get this, and this one, and was like, oh, I'm bummed I couldn't get this one. I said, listen, man, of the ones you got the right ones. Don't feel too bad about missing this one. And I told Sean from Nerd Sense, who was out hunting for these as I was drinking these 3 at the bar. I said, listen, if you can't get this one, don't feel too bad. But anyway, back to the Wheatwine. I know the 2018 had won some awards, including the one, was it Fobab or whatever, the barrel competition last year, and this one I think is totally worthy. And I'll tell you what, this is how much I like this. I was also able to get crowlers of these three. And I got a crowler of this one, and when I review this one, I'm going to drink out a crowler because I want to take the other two that I bought and age them as well. Like, I want to keep these around. I really like these. I want to make these last. This one I don't want to make last. I'm going to save it for, I don't know when I'm going to review it, but don't be surprised if it's a little bit, and I kind of give it some time to maybe meld better together, because to me, again, this, and not to keep killing this cherry one, but not a huge fan. All right, so what it looked like for me today, and I know where you live, it can look different when you go out to get Bourbon County. So right around the corner from me, not far at all, is a really cool beer store, and then they have a sister store just a few miles away as well. So they opened at 8. Last year they ended up actually opening the doors more like 7:30. So I got there a little bit before 7, but they ended up opening the doors right before 8. So it was relatively cold, but whatever, I made do. You could get as much of 2019 regular as you wanted, so I bought a case. They also had 2018 cases, but I still have a case of that and not get any more than 2018. And then it was, they had a few cases of this, so it was one per person, but they had plenty. Same thing here, same thing here. And then the Rye Reserve was, they only had one case, so I knew there was 12. So I was 9th in line. That's the only reason I got there a little early, because, when they had, 3 cases of these, I could have been, I could have not shown up until after they opened for a while and been able to get these 3. But I really wanted to get this one, so I knew I had to be in the first 12. So I was number 9, and I was able to get this. I tell you what, too, this is my favorite of the variants I've tried. This one was the cheapest of these 3, and this one was the same price. So even though it's in the box, it's this reserve, it's one barrel, it's rye barrel aged. It was $16, which is the same as the Wheatwine. These ones were $23. And I just think it's kind of odd from a packaging and marketing point of view. Like, you make this one look all special, and it's actually the same price as the cheapest other variant, whatever. So I'm really excited to drink this one. This will probably be the first one I do. So anyway, so I go there, nice people in line, get, how you kind of form your little groups if you've ever been in a beer line. So, nice chit-chatting. And then they also had put out other stuff, Cantillon, Equilibrium. Actually, they did it was kind of cool. Both places had done a huge Equilibrium mobile can release. They had like maybe 6 different beers, and one of them was just from 2 days ago release, so that was pretty rad. But I'm doing no hype, no buy November, so I didn't buy any of it except, like I said, at the beginning of the month, Bourbon County stuff. So they had that, they had the Cantillon, they had some other stuff, they had a couple Firestone Walkers, like a Mole Merkin. Hey Bruno, what's up, buddy? And a couple other things you could get, but again, I just stuck to the Bourbon County like I said I would do, and so I was able to get, again, my case and one of each. Then I drove to the sister store, and I wanted to see if I could get one more of the variants. I knew that they also had only gotten the one case, so there was no way I was getting a second one of these reserves. So I waited in the long line, and their line was, I think more people went there. They do more social media promotion and things like that, so I think people thought they had the better selection. So I went there, they had the exact same selection, and I did end up buying one more each of these, and then, again, obviously we're out of these. That was the cute thing that happened there is there was an older gentleman in front of me, and I'm talking probably in his late 70s, and like me, he had passed the Equilibrium, and he was and he got, again, how you kind of form your groups in line. He was mostly talking to the women in front of him, and they had asked him like what he was there for since he passed on the Equilibrium, which is what we went by, and as this line went, we passed that first. He's like, I'm just here to get the Goose Island bourbon beer. So then I hear him talking to at the cash register about it, and it was really awesome. And I hope I'm as cool as he is when I'm his age. He was talking how he's got enough to go back to 2015, and now he's got 4 vintages in a row. Him and his buddies are going to get together and do flights of the 2015, 16, 17, 18, and 19. And And again, the guy was easily in his late 70s. Like, that was really rad that he's still doing his thing and bought his case of 2019 regular Bourbon County. He wasn't interested in the variants, but he got his 2019 regular. So I thought it was really cool. And then, yeah, I dropped this off at my house, waited a little while until that bar opened up around the corner, went there, did that, came home, recorded this, edited this, well, and then I chopped the beginning and the end off, and uploaded it, and that's what you're watching right now. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know, did you go out there hunting today? What did you get? Did you get any other variants? Obviously, I did not get the 2-year reserve, the double barrel age, or the prop, but I was able to get everything else, which I'm very happy about. But yeah, let me know, what did you get? What was your experience like? Any funny stories while you were in line? Check me out on Instagram and Untapped. It's No Hype Beer Reviews at both those places. So always please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, drink non-craft beer every once in a while. Cheers.